most beautiful museums in the entire world. This is personally one of my favorite museums I've ever been to. Absolutely, I love coming here to the Vatican. Around the halls of the Vatican Museum. No set direction, no agenda, just to enjoy the vibes of the museum. For fun, we're gonna take our sweet, sweet time exploring as much as we can. Let me know where you're watching from. My name is Ariel and this is Urbanist. So we are currently no longer in the country of Vatican City. It's a country within the city. Are very big. Look at this. George says it's coronavirus. If you are wondering what the coronavirus is, there's a theory that a Benedictine monk allegedly said that he invented a time travel device here in the Vatican. Joe, you were watching my last live stream. Oh, I'm so glad, Joe. This is rather not this empty. Usually it's packed to the brim. My own parents came here and they said it was one of their worst experiences, unfortunately. Not because of the museum itself or it's the lack of beauty, because it has beauty in spades, but it was because it was so packed with people that you couldn't truly enjoy the museum. So I'm providing all of you today with a very special experience. That experience being and I chose this time specifically, not only because this is our scheduled time. The reason I even chose to go daily at 6 p.m. is because I knew a few of these sites here in Rome are ideal to come after 5 p.m. because it gets a lot emptier. And I've been to the Vatican Museum a few times during ideal. George says, bring us a souvenir. I'll do my best, George. So this used to be part of the popes, all the popes in general, their private collection, and the cardinals as well, because a lot of the cardinals were collectors of artworks. And then it became a museum. Now it's one of the most visited museums in the entire world. And we're gonna go up and find our way to the Pope apartments, which I think is the best place to visit. So here's the outside. Surprisingly, they let people so close to the statue. Yeah, they have so many, so I don't think they are worried about any particular statue. Here's another one that they're doing some repairs. So I've come here in 2019 and it was, and I remember seeing a band playing here. It was really magical in the evening. But I came in October, and October by this time it's already starting to go dark. There's another of these spheres in the UN. It's made by Anado Pomodoro, and it's a sphere within a sphere made in 1990. It was a gift from the artist to the Vatican. Susie says, can't think of a better way to spend a lunch break. Oh, I'm so glad. Here we have the cafe. All right, let me mute a little bit. Okay, sorry, I had to mute because there was some popular French music playing in the cafe. Hey, Panajotis, greetings. Nice to see you here. It's a huge pine cone, right? Oh, that's interesting seeing that here. That was the symbol that the Vanderbilts used. It was their family sigil back in New York. And here we have Bob's Italian cousins. We got Giovanni. We got Roberto. And we also have Marina. LAC, that was not live music. What's playing here is recorded French music. Is that fish in the guy's mouth? Yeah. It is. Let's go. Is there chronovisor here? No, no chronovisor. Not there. So we were just in this room. Now we're going up here. Brace yourselves. Not much people in the museum. No, very empty Vatican. Calling no track shorts. So I was mistaken. They are not enforcing the no shorts rule. So I came here sweating in long jeans. Coral says, how does it smell in here? Well, I'm gonna take a huge whiff because I'm gonna drink some water. It smells like a museum, so lots of kind of stone smell to it. It smells just a tiny bit damp. It's because of all that porous stone. All that travertine. So this is what I use for house parties to make a lot of jungle juice. This statue is of the triumphant Perseus holding the severed head of Medusa. So Medusa was turned into a gorgon or into a monster, where she turned peoples into stone if they looked directly into their eyes. He ended up taking the head to the king, and he told the king, do not take it out of the bag and don't look at it, because even though she's dead, you will still turn into stone. The king thought that was total bollocks, and thus he still took out the head from the bag, and him and his entire court turned into stone. The statue was made by one of the more famous sculptors, Antonio Canova, between 1757 and 1822. And only in the span of a few months he made this sculpture, which was around 1800 to 1801. Victoria, yeah. Eric, thank you so much for 50 stars. The real one's located in Florence, Georgia. Oh, cool. Is it cool inside? Was it much marble? It's a bit cooler, yeah. That's so hot. Unfold, thank you so much for 50 stars. Kay saying I have a great reception. I do indeed. Let's go, good news. here. Let's go across. For Coral says, I wish you had your own travel channel. Oh yeah. One day I would. One day soon I'll work with TV. Don't worry. Look who we found. Pericles, the man who built the Acropolis in Athens, Greece. Right there we have Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. Jupiter. We have a statue of Antonius. Antonius, the lover of Hadrian. Emperor Hadrian lived during the 120s. End up rebuilding the Pantheon. He had a longtime lover, Antonius, much younger than him. Is Faustina Modri. Don't know too much about her. And here we have our boy Hadrian. Hadrian, as I mentioned, built the Pantheon. He wasn't the one who initiated the project. It was right before him. It was Trajan, but he passed away before even the foundations were starting to be put. He ended up reaching it to completion. Now, Hadrian had a lot of important architectural works, including the library right by the Acropolis, which you can see a bonus 360 video of. Hadrian was definitely a very bearded man. Yeah, he was. He had very long locks. Hadrian. Just like that. And again, here's Hadrian's lover, Antonius. Antonius, pecs of steel. Wendy says, handsome guy. He's swooning to Antonius. Yeah, Antonius, yeah, pecs of steel. He had a young boyfriend. Yeah, he was much younger. I think might have been 30, 40 years his junior. He was very, very young. Like very young compared to Hadrian. Magnificent this is. Is Hadrian, so Alan's with the H, Hadrian, the person who built the Hadrian Wall in Scotland? Yes, Hadrian Wall, yeah, same Hadrian. Hadrian built a lot. He built the walls in Scotland to protect it against the Picts. He built the library in Athens. He built the Pantheon. He built a huge villa, which is very nearby, within driving distance of Rome. I may do it on a day trip, stay tuned. He built a lot of things. Oh, Paul, my mistake. It's in England, Hadrian's Wall, yeah. Not so much at the Scottish border. Henny says the mosaics on the floor are so beautiful. Actually, we have one town, or in Germany, it's deemed one of the farthest north where they found those mosaics. Oh, Henny, that's so cool. What is that red pool? Ooh, I don't know. That I don't know. It might have been a ceremonial bonfire. Maybe, but I don't see a sign for it. So here we have the Emperor Claudius, or Claudio in Spanish. Claudius. So Caligula was very deeply disturbed towards the end of his life. He died very young, and it was because one of his guards actually took him to a room as he was kind of exiting, and took him through a tunnel, and that's when his personal guard stabbed him to death. Claudius was there in attendance. He was not implicated. A lot of people definitely think he was not in the conspiracy. Claudius really wasn't that type of guy. He was the uncle of Caligula. And as the guard stabbed him to death, the other guards saw. The other guards really didn't give a shit because Caligula was going quite on a killing spree. It was a little bit insane. They decided to declare Claudius. They went on their knees and declared Claudius, long live the emperor. So he ended up becoming the emperor, this guy. The innocent uncle bystander watching his own end up becoming the emperor of Rome. In his later age, he was already when he became emperor, which was a little bit late than most other emperors before that. Praetorian Guard. Yes, Richard, thank you so much. Aloha, Robert. Thank you so much for tuning in. Why is he holding a plate? Well, you know, Claudius was, I don't know. He was attending the buffet. Claudius, was attending the buffet of power. That's why he has a plate. Symbology. I'm joking. I have no idea why he has a plate. It's a good question. Babu says Caligula was abused as a child. Yes, great point. So excellent point. Caligula, for a little bit more context, Caligula was semi-raised by Tiberius, his emperor father. He was not the direct child of Tiberius. It was a very complicated familial affair. And Tiberius basically resented Caligula and resented his entire family for decades. And he ended up raising him, but as a prisoner. It was very weird. Very weird. So Tiberius basically abused him physically, maybe who knows what else. Definitely physically and emotionally throughout his entire childhood. Tiberius was as crazy as Caligula. Yes, everyone, no modern politics, no current news in the comments. Thank you. Let's keep the politics more than 100 years old. Ronald says, thank you for this tour. My pleasure. Oh. So this is the sarcophagus of Saint Helena. How much is the ticket to the museum? I spent €22 for this late ticket. I think €, which includes like a breakfast, or if you do the later version, it includes a drink. Helena was Constantine's mother, says Big Griffin. Thank you so much, Big Griffin. So, Helena, Constantine's mother. Helena was a devout Christian, one of the earliest ones to be a devout Christian amongst the Roman elite. And Constantine took a while to kind of follow his mother's ways. What convinced Constantine was that on the eve of a battle, he saw a huge cross in the sky. And a huge cross in the sky was a sign that he said was to turn Catholic, to turn Christian, in order to win the battle. Can't believe that on the actual statue. More than 300 AD, yeah. Yeah, around there. Let us know exactly when was the era of Constantine. Aiden, nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Rafael, oi, tudo bem? Welcome. Oh, wow. Thank you, B. Griffin. Constantine was 306 to 337. So yeah, 300 AD. Aiden says, I'm doing great. School's out for summer, so I'll be here more often. Oh, so cool, Aiden. Glad you got through school. That's awesome. So that's where we started. And now we're on the other side. Lisa, did that man just sat in the statue? Yes, he did. That man's literally sat in the statue with a selfie stick to take a selfie. Laser says, are we in the Vatican? No, this is all a green screen. It's a massive green screen. I gotta stay away from this guy. This guy's gonna break the rules and ruin my style, so let's wait a little bit here. Feel free to ask me anything. I'll let the really weird tourists go on before he unleashes the alarm and gets tackled by the Swiss Guard. May I know what's included in breakfast? I don't know. Great question, Matt. I don't know. They don't even have it listed, so I don't fully know, but I assume it's something American style. Oh, look at this. They have an alarm system. Is that Starbucks I see, George? No, it's a cafe, but it's not Starbucks. Just relax. Passerati. Yeah, I'll do okay. It's just I was nervous about that guy. He seems to really not know any boundaries when it comes to the museum. Don't want to be near him. So these were all made under the school of Raphael. And we're going to see exactly what Raphael did directly. So tapestries were usually functioning almost like a graphic novel. or like a comic book. They all did order. So they're all telling a story. And the story, the point of the story, unlike comic books, is to be completely visual. Look at the beautiful details. This is all a tapestry. Look at that. All textile. Somehow they got these beautiful colors. Oh, look, it's our boy Jesus. Hey, Jesus. Jesus is my homie. I like the sign that he does. What does this mean? If anyone knows. I never got to find out what this means. Am I allowed to do it? Sorry, Jesus. I don't mean to copy your style. Oh, but this is a cool symbol. Debbie says magnificent. Hyde says master finest works. Oh yeah. It means peace, Hyde? Oh cool. Matt says it means peace. Okay, a lot of sign. Brace yourself. Are you ready? Or are you sitting down? Welcome to the gallery of maps. Oh yeah, maps galore. This is one of the most legendary rooms in all of the Vatican. Maps depicting all of Italy, all of its different regions. Di Otranto. I'm not sure what that is. This Sicily? Yes, Sicilia. We have a map of Sicily right over here. Sicilia. We got Mount Etna depicted with the volcano fire coming out for a few centuries already, quite a while. Be sure to do some neck stretches before you come here because you're going to be cranking your neck a lot looking upwards. Oh, is this? This is this Aristophanes? I think it might be. This might be one of the Greek playwrights, one of the original ancient Greek playwrights. If you do recognize him, let me know. B. Griffith says that's Janus. Oh, it is? Okay. Joe says go ask him. S Field says, I know it's ridiculous, but when I see those ceilings, I think number one, wow. Number two, oh my god, the cleaning. Oh yeah, probably takes a lot of cleaning. That's right, S Fields. Props to the Vatican janitor who's responsible for the cleaning. He's doing a great job. He deserves a raise. Here is the great island of Sardinia, where some of the oldest people live. Yep, it is what's called a blue zone in Sardinia. At least a certain region, the mountains in Sardinia, are a blue zone, which is one of the few zones where there's the most amount of centennials, people who are above the age of 100. There have been studies into why people live so long in the mountains of Sardinia. Is it the diet? Is it the lifestyle? Is it the culture? Is it the cities and the towns that they live in? Is it the environment? Well, they've asked a lot of the different Sardinians, and a lot of them have reported that they do light exercise. They walk every single day. They don't do crazy exercises. They are not working out. They're not doing CrossFit. They're not doing transcendental yoga. They are just merely walking. And by walking, they have stayed fit. So, if you want to be a centennial, someone who lives above the age of 100, maybe consider walking. Here is the island of Corsica, where a portion of Puerto Ricans come from, and I may have blood from Corsica. Corsica has always been contested between the Italian states and the French state. Clement says, so that's the reason for this channel. Oh, Orfile says, me wants to be immortal, starts walking. Yep, that is the reason for this channel. Was it Napoleon Corsican? Yes, he was. Napoleon was Corsican. Okay, that's a great question, B. Griffin. Wasn't Napoleon Corsican? It's interesting they have it here because, you know, it switched between Italy and France over and over again. And there's even talks, right, to make it independent or hand it off. I'm not sure what's exactly happening on Corsica. Jasmine gave a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I've been unable to read all the super chats, so pardon me. I just don't want to chat too much like I usually do, because while they do allow video, I'm not sure if anything has happened the past year in terms of live streaming, but I'm playing it safe, so I'm not making it too obvious that I'm live streaming. But I do it with the highest respect. There's a lot of people out there who watch who can't ever really come here, and while the Vatican has a few videos on the museum, they really don't provide a virtual walking experience like I'm doing. So I hope the good intentions come through making these videos. So Napoleon was indeed Corsican, and he had a very thick Corsican accent. And Corsican is actually, like, it's intelligible with French, but there's still a lot of big differences. And he was made fun of in early military school for being Corsican. And he easily stuck out. And the Corsicans had kind of a bad rap with the mainland French. And people speculate that that is the reason why Napoleon kind of had this inferiority complex when he was younger. He vowed to himself to really make a name for himself. Little Nas says, do not worry, they're watching our live stream now. Oh, it's Pope. Pope Francis tuning in. Hey, Pope. El Papa. Thank you so much, Francis, for tuning in. Coral says, I feel like being in a museum. You are doing a good job. Oh, I'm so glad I am. This trip, you're outdoing yourself, says Joe. Oh, I'm so glad you think I'm doing that. That's so awesome. Thank you. Matt says, Corsica is the 4th largest island in the Mediterranean after Sicily, Sardinia, and Cyprus. Isn't Crete even as big as well? This is what I took home as a souvenir. I still have it hung up on my room. I don't even know. This is the area of Campania. Area of Campania. Good food in Campania. B. Griffin says he wasn't actually short. That was British propaganda. Yes, exactly the propaganda that is being bestowed upon me. For some reason, there's some rumor out there that I'm 5'2". That's propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. Do not listen to the tabloids. Okay? I'm 6'5". I'm not 5'2". Don't listen to the Daily Mail. I can't believe this is so empty. Even when I came here very late at night on October 2019, I also came here in March, also late night when I first visited Rome, and it still was more people than this. This is so... Amir says, talking about Napoli Capri is a must. I've heard. My, you're 5'2". Oh my. Oh my, you're 5'2". That's cool. The rumor about your shortness, of course, was started by you, says Donald. Shh, Donald. That is also more propaganda. How tall is he? We will never know. May the Daily Mail speculate forever. Here's the region of Umbria. Take more pictures of the ceiling, sure, we'll do. Teresa, sure. Zoom in. Anonymous says kicks. Thank you, Anonymous. Bought new sneakers and they fit perfectly snug when I was at the shoe store at Foot Locker, and then I started walking in them and I feel like they're extremely tight. I feel like they're tiny little torture devices on my big feet. So if anyone has any advice to stretch out shoes, do let me know. When he says get a pair that fit, you know, I couldn't find the shoes that always fit for me. They don't sell the Converse sneakers here. Can tourists visit Pope Francis? Yeah, you can. I think you can reserve an audience with the Pope. I'm not sure how easy it is to do that. Apparently, it's free. Or you could. You can also see the Pope when he does his outdoor kind of greeting. I'm not exactly sure the details, but I think he does it maybe once a month. Or maybe a little bit more often. Do they have description plaques? They do, but not right now. I see no description plaques for this specific exhibit. Is it gold? This is wood. Plated or gold painted? Yeah, but it's definitely wood. This is very intricately carved wood and then painted gold. So no, not real gold. Miss Lob says, maybe I don't see the effect in real life. What are you referring to, Miss Lob? Oh, Miss Lob, you're referring to the gold effect. Okay, so yeah, it is intricately carved wood. It's just, it's painted gold and other colors. So you have green, you have the reds over here. Of course, it's also painted white, so no actual gold is used here. Ocean Angel says, I'm your new subscriber. Hey, Ocean, thank you so much for tuning in. So let's look at a little bit closer details at the map. Raphael, you're hoping for the British Museum soon. I have previously done a video on Facebook. So Kay, thank you so much for reminding people. Facebook is doubling stars this month as well if I reach 50,000 stars. So that means 50,000, I will be making 100,000 stars, which is $1,000? That's quite a lot. Which is good because that means I can show you a cool new place, maybe a new region in Italy, maybe a cool city in the Caribbean, or a place like New Orleans as well. There's many other possibilities. So thank you everyone sending stars to Super Chats. Anonymous Dude says, Ariel, your audience is so sweet. They are indeed. Everyone give a round of hearts to yourselves for being so sweet, for being so awesome. All right, we are done with the, and I absolutely loved it. So let's continue walking around. Look how beautiful it is. I'll show you a perspective over here. Dest says hi to Pope. Yes, I'll do my best. Hi says very nice people. Thanks to all. Yeah, my pleasure. There's some museum guests staring at me. Over here. Not the guy, but the woman. She keeps looking back. And I look and she's like looks away. So I'm not sure why. Let me wait until she keeps on moving. Hi, it's overstimulus. Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, Miss Fancy says for a cup of coffee later. Thank you so much. I'll be claiming that cup of coffee tomorrow. It's a bit late for coffee at this point. But thank you so much for the €5 super chat. Appreciate that. I could buy me 5 espressos. That's gonna buy me espressos for the next 2 days. Thank you so much. Richard, I wish I get to. I'm waiting for her to go ahead. She was taking a while. She's still lingering. Is this what women will go through? My heart goes out to women who experience that much more regularly. Hey David, how's it going? Glad you found a good decaf drink. to see the beautiful wall mirror. Well, directly inspired by Raphael, because these were made just a little bit more recently. Room. And these works were commissioned by Francisco Podesti, and it was a project from 18. Confused for Raphael, because we're going to see Raphael very soon. Stay tuned. But you can see, you can easily get confused with Raphael. And always look up. It's severed. A Swiss guard. What appears to be the Pope. Yeah, he's wearing the hat, so a Pope. We're gonna see Raphael soon. Alright, let's go through here. Oh my god. Look at this. It's the Vatican parking lot. Oh, wow. Who's the Pope Mobile around here? Pope Mobile, where you at? Everyone, the Vatican parking lot. What secrets lie underneath this garage, this parking lot? Oh, this is where they filmed Two Popes. Beautiful. So highly recommend watching the film Two Popes. I think the last scene takes place right over here, where Pope Francis says goodbye to Pope Benedict, and they kind of separate ways. Really great film. If you want an amazing film, just in general, it's just an amazing film in general. It's just well done. It's made by the same director of City of God. So it's directed in a very cool, fresh way. It doesn't feel like a stuffy drama. But beyond that, it gives you a great perspective of kind of the Pope and the Vatican. Babu, what is the Two Popes about? Great question. Great question. So right now, at this very moment in time, there's actually two living popes. This is out of the ordinary. Sorry, my mask keeps falling down. This is out of the ordinary because how can you have two popes? The thing is, Pope Benedict, who I think was German, right? He's from Germany. He ended up abdicating the papacy, which also was a very strange thing. That hasn't happened for hundreds of years. I think it was like 900 and something when someone abdicated the papacy. So this presented a challenge. They had to elect a new pope. And the pope that they decided to elect was the pope that was almost going to be elected that first time around after John Paul II died. But he still was a bit unpopular because he was seen as kind of a very forward thinker. Pope Benedict was very classical, very traditional. He was also more of a scholar. So he believed to maintaining the classic traditions of the Vatican. The thing is, in the Catholic Church, if you haven't read in the past 20 or so years, things have been a bit crazy in the Catholic Church. A lot of stuff has come out. So they had to do something. Benedict wasn't going to be the guy who was going to do something. So they ended up hiring Pope Francis. They ended up voting him in. So he ended up becoming the second living pope. So right now we have two popes living at the same time. I think Benedict is still living. He's already very elderly. I'm not sure how he is health-wise. He doesn't seem too good health-wise, but he's still hanging on. So that's very interesting. That's why, yeah, two popes. He was hired, yeah, he was in essence hired. He was voted in. Pope Francis is somewhere around here. I still want to hang out with him, but you know, he's a bit busy. You know, kissing babies is a full-time job, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to do my best and see if I can feature Francis in a live stream. I'll do my best, but he's kissing babies. He's in his 90s now, says Kay. Anonymous says I'm a very good speaker. Oh, thank you, Anonymous. Pope Francis might still be resting from his recent operation. Oh no, I hope he's doing well. Would you kiss the Pope's rank, says Babu? Would I? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah. I think I will. It might not be COVID safe, but I think I will. This is Emperor Constantine. W with the two signs are Korean. Thank you so much for the 20,000 Korean. Ooh, how much is that? 20,000 Korean. I'm new here, Italy, from South Korea. Welcome. Annyeonghaseyo. You know some Italian as well. Anya. Ooh, how do I say thank you in Korean? let me know. $17, thank you. Or $24, thank you so much. Between 17 and 24, thank you so much. Namsa Heo, thank you so much. Very generous of you for the $17. Or 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Scarlett says, well, you can say hello in Korean, yeah. In New York, I grew up with many Koreans. I learned a few words. 안녕하세요. 고수. I'm a gosu. A lot of people are saying right now. And yeah. Very. You know, nowadays, Americans in their big mansions do paintings like these. Maybe not as elaborate, but they do similar paintings where they make this type of wallpaper to look like if it was a huge stone building. And from our modern eyes, we think it's tacky. But time in 2015, it completely changed my perspective on that. I thought to myself, why do we think it's tacky when they did this well? And I think if you truly do it with great artistry, it doesn't matter if it's real statuary or not. It's just magical. It's an amazing work in its own right to make it look like real statuary, real reliefs, real. Dr. Tachi, thank you. I am lucky, just like you, Dr. Tachi, lucky to have one of the strongest passports in the world. So Richard says it's going to be dark soon. Oh, here we are. The rooms of Raphael. One of the most famous paintings in the entire world of art. This, ladies and gentlemen, are the 4 pillars of knowledge. So we have justice, we have theology, and we have philosophy. over here. This is the School of Athens, which is rather appropriate because we just came from Athens. The Avengers of classical philosophy and the progenitors of science. So if you but instead it. So before there ever was an Avengers Endgame, there was the School of Athens by Raphael. It was the entire dream team together. In the center, we have two of the most famous philosophers. Plato, right there in red, carrying a book by Aristotle, who's right next to him in blue. They are the two center figures. They're surrounded by all these different amazing philosophers. Right there, who's the man reclining? He's my favorite philosopher. Who's the man reclining right over here? I'm so glad that he's almost center stage. Almost, but almost not. So it's appropriate that we're seeing this because we were just in Athens. We learned about these guys. I showed you their very footsteps, where they actually walked and worked and talked. And this one peed and defecated at the very place we went to. Who is this guy? Not Socrates, no. All these guys walked and worked at the places I showed you in Athens. This guy peed and defecated. I'm not joking, like he literally did that. Oh yeah. It is Diogenes. He's right there, Diogenes. Yep, the blue one reclining is Diogenes, the founder of cynicism. Right here, right next to him, is Heracles, and he is done in the likeness who was a hero of Raphael. So Michelangelo right over here. Right over here, we have Pythagoras. Pythagoras, of course, we know him for the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right there, this guy. So in a way, this is kind of divided between two schools of thought. So we have Plato, who was really much of a man who was kind of in imagination, supposition, analogies. He was a man that liked making questions, like kind of looking beyond what is seen. But right next to more about measuring, more about being empirical, logical. This half, a lot of the philosophers, like Pythagoras, were ones who looked into the skies, who went beyond logic, or not logic, but at least went beyond what most people went to, what could be measured. And that's why he is the founder of trigonometry. But the person who ended up solidifying trigonometry, the man who actually measured it, was Euclides, right here, who made the Euclidean. He's the one who famous astronomers. Shaky Dave says, so many people in this painting. I told you, this is the Avengers Endgame of the Renaissance. So right here we have Zoroaster. Zoroaster, the man who, one of the oldest religious figures of the world as we know it. So Zoroaster is basically the founder of Zoroastrianism, where Emperor Xerxes, who was of the Persian army that attacked the Athenians, Zoroaster. And then right there, you know, in every Avengers movie, in every single Marvel movie, we have a cameo of Stan Lee. Well, Raphael was basically a Stan Lee of the Renaissance. Because right here, this man looking directly at us, gazing at his amazing painting. He's there. That's him, Raphael. And he decided to put himself right next to these important astronomers, maybe making a statement saying that I, an artist, am as important as the man of look towards the sky as the cosmos. Places Diogenes in the Aristotle section. And when you think about it, it's very true. Because Diogenes was a man who was grounded. He was a man that kind of looked more at the practicality of life, even though he made fun of it. Even though he literally took an S on it. So I find it interesting that he is placed there. But he's very center. I wonder why. He's kind of also on his own, similar to Michelangelo's appearance. Now the two statues on each side, we have Apollo over there. Now, of course, Apollo is associated with a bunch of things. He's also associated with like romance and yearning and travel and flight. And he's on the side of Plato. As mentioned, Plato's really up in the air, kind of looking beyond. But on our girl, Athena, of course, is really grounded in logic. Oh, someone sent $20. Hey, Cecilia. This is so amazing. Can't thank you enough. Great job. Thank you so much, Cecilia, for the $20. Cecilia, you're so awesome. Everyone give hearts to Cecilia and the other people who just gave super chats. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I won't be able to show you the Sistine Chapel in this video, but I think this is the closest to showing you the Sistine Chapel. Lucy says, yes, artists are just as important to society as scientists or philosophers. Yeah, I agree, Lucy, I agree. Miss Lob says, this will do, Ariel, my friend. Thank you. My pleasure, Miss Lob. I'll show you more details. Among here, we might see the likes of Euripides. I mean, Epicurus, not Euripides, Epicurus. Susan, nice to see you. these painted during the Renaissance era. They have it in every single language. I mean, not every single language, but they have it in a bunch of different languages. Italian, French, English, German. So this was during the era of Pope Julius II. And Pope Julius II was the man who commissioned all these artworks. You see him bearded here, but it was not allowed to be bearded for mourning, because he was mourning some attack that happened. He lost the territory. Shaky Dave says Pope Julius and Michelangelo, they always get together. There was a moment painted the Sistine Chapel, and Pope Julius came in and was pissed off because he was taking too long. And apparently Pope Julius took his staff, because the Pope usually has like this huge staff, and hit Michelangelo. That's what the story says. So there's a chance that the Pope physically abused one of the greatest artists of all time. Yeah, Pope Julius had a temper. He was known to have a temper. So yeah, Pope Julius was an interesting character in of itself, but he did appreciate the arts, no matter how abusive he may have been. Michelangelo always said, as long as it takes, yeah, as long as it takes. Can I go down? I will bid you adieu over here, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tour through the Vatican Museum. I'm going to explore a little bit more, offer a 360 video bonus for supporters out there. So if you want to get a supporter, you want to become a supporter, you can do so by going to patreon.com/urbanist. The supporter button on Facebook or the join button on YouTube. So right over here, you can become a supporter. We saw probably some of the most important rooms of the Vatican Museum, in my opinion, is the Gallery of Maps. We saw the huge, beautiful sculptures of ancient Rome. So we saw some of the best characters of ancient Rome, which we're gonna see and learn about as we continue exploring this beautiful eternal city. And we get to see the beautiful rooms by Raphael, the eternal city. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. The rest of the museum, you can see ancient Greek statuary, you can see Etruscan statuary, there's some ancient Egyptian as well, but we definitely saw the highlights. This is what most major tours will show you, definitely. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in, I really appreciate it. Ludo says a little contribution to your ticket for the ticket along with Christine, thank you so much. So if you want a little bit more access to the museum, I'll be posting 360 videos. We're over here, patreon.com/urbanist. Feel free to become a patron. Press that join button, or press that become a supporter button. And you'll be seeing other things. All right, everyone. It was such a pleasure showing you around. Beautiful day at the museum. Oh, I'm in love with this place. Highly recommend coming here. I spent about 22 euro on it. So it was a good deal, I think, for such a beautiful museum. And come later in the evening. Best time to come. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Buonanotte, amici. Buonanotte, amici.